Welcome back to Mike's Fitness and Food, everybody. It's been a little bit quiet around my channel for a little while because of a lot of things going on, especially my university studies, which are just mind-blowing. And I've had a little bit of a big project planned for a little while. So you see all this big open space behind me. I'm going to be doing something fun. Well, not fun for me, but probably fun for everybody else to watch and do later. But I'm going to be building a military-style boot camp obstacle course that's going to be stretching all along here, going to be clearing up more trees, and then all the way around back the other side that you probably can't see in the frame. But it's going to have a lot of different things. It's going to have the rope traversals, over-unders to climb. We're going to have ramps to do, lots of rope stuff. I love the rope stuff. We're going to have a small pit sort of style thing where you're going to do leopard crawling. It's going to be body strength / cardio type workouts, like any exercise course, obstacle way. And there's going to be some weights involved. There's going to be some body style exercises, but a lot of it is going to be movement, cardio, core workout style things. And it's going to stretch all along here. I've already got a plan made up. I'm not going to post a plan online because I want people to be surprised of what I'm going to be building. But all in all, we're going to be doing multiple episodes of this, and it's going to be short videos, multiple episodes. I'm going to try to keep it between 5 to 10 minutes so you don't get bored. But basically, you can see there's nothing prepared here at the moment. This is all going to be hand built by me. Yay. Maybe here and there a friend of mine is going to come out and help. But the first stages, of course, is going to be planning. So episode 1 is this right now here. It's going to be planning style, preparation. So what we're going to be going over today is mowing this down a little bit, getting rid of the grass as much as possible, and we're going to be preparing basically just some string measured out just to show where everything's going to go. And don't knock over my tripod, doggy. Please don't. She wants to knock it over. She doesn't like that I'm doing this. She wants to play. Don't you, puppy? Come here. Come here. Be on camera. Yeah, good girl. And there's a cat too. I'm not sure if she's in the frame. So yeah, first stage is going to be preparation. I'm going to be mowing all this. Next up, I'm going to be finding some sort of pegs or maybe even sticks. I didn't prepare pegs, which is terrible. I do have the builder's rope, and we're going to prepare this area as much as possible. There's going to be cuts in and out. I'm going to do some speed ups just so you don't have to watch me mow the lawn and hammer little pegs into the ground. But that's the gist of it. Stay tuned for more things. Alrighty, now that we've mowed a little bit, we can get on to some other stuff. Now, this is definitely, I've only mowed this one lane here, and this is definitely not going to be enough for what we're doing, but it's going to be a good start. I just want to get started on a little bit of measuring and getting some string lined up, just so I know how much space I need for the first track. Like realistically, I can go all the way till the end if I wanted to, and we're definitely going to loop around. Only problem is that requires a lot more mowing, and I'm lazy when it comes to mowing the lawn. And it's just the worst exercise you can do. I could jump on the ride-on mower, but I've been sitting down way too much lately, and I need to get moving. That's why I use the push mower. But it just sucks. I don't think there's anybody that really likes mowing. Not even my dog. She's exhausted. All right, we're gonna get on to some measuring and such. I did find a couple of pegs. I'm gonna have to find more. I definitely did not prepare these earlier, but I'm glad they were here. So we're gonna put some of these down. I've got a measuring tape. We're gonna measure some stuff out. Now the first one is gonna go literally right here. I don't even have to measure this. This is just where the starting point's gonna be. So we're gonna chuck this one down. Doesn't need to be that deep because this is not any type of construction. This is literally just to get a starting point. Now, this is going to be the start of the course, which is going to involve some over-under sort of climbing style things. It's doesn't need to be necessarily super wide. Now, probably about 3 meters wide, if that, because it's literally going to be a single file workout. Like, we don't need, I'm not going to have multiple people participating in this. This is going to be literally just be built for me and a few friends, unless I decide to make it amazing. But even this is 3 meters right here. More than enough space to run up and jump over. So, I'm going to lock that in, because I definitely know how to use all of this stuff. I'm going to chuck another peg down. Now, once I've got the pegs in, I will get some string along it so that I know what I'm doing. Now, you're going to need to, obviously, when you run up on these things, you're going to need to have a bit of a run up. There's a heap of space behind the camera, so don't worry about that. But you're going to be running up. First one's going to be over. So jump over this. You need a little bit of room to get moving again. And probably about, we're going to say about here. So let's see what sort of distance this is. So we got roughly, let's say, well, not roughly, I've got a measuring tape. You jump over, you're going to go to about, let's say 3.5 meters. So we're going to want it about here. So let's line this up with one of the other pegs. I'm a genius. Don't listen to me for any building advice, I can tell you that now. Luckily, OH&S doesn't exist here because this is built for myself and not for anybody else. So, unless we want to take this commercial, but by that point it has to be something actually that looks good. So we'll see what it looks like towards the end. So 3.5 meters. So you jump over this, kablammy, land, and then you go under. So we're going to do over, under, and you can see how the space starts shrinking. Like, it probably doesn't look, I'm not sure how it's going to look really on the video, but if you look ahead, like, it can look like a fair bit of space. But sorry, hay fever, by the way, that's why I'm snorting in the middle of my videos. It can look like a fair bit of space, but we're already, this is 3.5 meters here, and we're using up, like, let's say that's just one over under. So 3.5 meters the next one, 3.5 meters the next one, and the space really starts to shrink, you know. So it can be quite daunting looking at the. Don't mind me, I'm just checking that I'm actually recording and not just talking to myself like a crazy person. It can be quite daunting when you see how much the space is shrinking, knowing how much I need to build. Like, I've got heaps of room on the other side, which is exactly why I said I'm going to loop around. The leopard crawl station is going to definitely be over there because it's not going to fit here. Because I got ramps. We're going to do, I know I didn't say, I wasn't really going to share the plan much, but I'm not going to post it. So you're going to have to really watch the video to know what I'm talking about. There's definitely going to be rope traversal either towards the end of this or towards the start of the other side. So it all depends how much room I'm going to be taking for the obstacles at the start, plus the ramp, because there's going to be a ramp climb that goes towards further in. So what did we say? See, my memory is probably as great as a goldfish, if not worse. So I think we said 3 meters here. So what did we do here? Yeah, 3 meters. So we're going to lock this in at 3 meters, or just not be a tool. I've got tools. I'm also a tool. All right. So we're going to do about 3 meters here. So we got the same distance. Now, I'm going to have to go find more pegs because I literally just stole this from from like a water park thing that we bought for the children, so don't tell the wife. All right, so we got 1 2 1 2. Don't even know if I really need to use a string. It'll probably look better if I have a string, because it's also going to help me memorize the idea for it. So the basic gist of these is going to be that we're going to put some poles up, wood, very simple, jump over. Towards the end, you're going to do under. And then we're going to repeat that step for 1 and 2. So that we're going to have over, under, and then next obstacle type. All right, let me go find some more pegs and we'll continue the video. Now I found a couple more pegs for my children's blow-up playhouses and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure they won't need them. But this is history in the making. This is important. We're gonna figure out the rest later. So I'm gonna measure out the next 2 over-unders. I'm gonna not record that because the video is already getting longer than I literally promised it was going to be. I said it was going to be like 5-10 minutes. This is probably going to end up to be a 25-minute video. So I apologize that you all have to watch me and listen to me for the entire time. But I'm going to measure out the next 2. I'm not going to bother recording that. I'm going to chuck the string on because I don't want to bore everybody too much more. Once I've got the string on, I'll get the recording going again and I will discuss the next stages from there. Okay, a lot of the prep work for, let's call it phase 1. We're going to do this in different phases because I've just realized how much work this is going to be for myself. Especially, it's not going to be very costly. It's going to be a lot of physical labor. Like, there's going to be, a lot of this is going to be built out of logs and wood that I have here. So it's going to be sort of recycling a lot of what I already have, because this is not a project that I want to be expensive. It's not going to be, you know, constructed by a company and spend tons of money on resource and stuff like that. Like, all I have to do is buy a bunch of screws. I've already got the chainsaw. I've got my tools that I need. There's going to be certain things that will be costly. As much as I'm not going to reveal the plan, like I said at the start, I can talk about sort of what is roughly going in it. So I'm not sure how visible the string is. With all my markers and string that I've pretty much turned into a little tripwire, we're going to have some over-unders. That's pretty simple. You just need to dig in the poles, screw on what I need to screw on to obviously have the right heights for everything. Then towards over here, we're going to have our ramp. Obviously it's going to be harder and harder to see me from the distance, but we're going to have our ramp climb that goes up. I've made a little box here to indicate that. Ramp climb, jump down. Now over here, these bigger pegs that I've got, if they're visible at all, this is going to be our rope traversal. Now this is going to be the end of phase 1, mostly because the amount of things that are already going into the first stage is going to be a fair bit of work. These episodes will go on and on, and I will explain always at the end of each one what's coming up next. But I think the over-unders, the ramp, the rope traversal will finish stage 1 or phase 1, whatever you want to call it, because the rope traversal is going to be the costly part of this phase. Like, most of this I can build without having to buy anything. The rope traversal, I can't just build out of the logs I have here because I'm going to have to build a platform. I'm going to have to buy some boards to make it a proper steady platform, and I have to buy the rope for the traversal. Now it's going to have to be one of those thick ropes, obviously. I'm sure you've seen them online or on different exercise courses and stuff like that, but they're not super expensive. But I'm going to have to buy one of those and obviously have that go across. So it's going to be boards, obviously more screws and that sort of stuff, possibly concrete for the platforms so it's steady when I put the poles in, and then yeah, the rope. So that will finish phase 1. And there's a lot planned for phase 2. Now I did a fair bit more mowing towards the back where the rope traversal will be, and I mowed up a little bit of the area where some of the other stuff will go. Obviously it's going to grow more by the time I build it, but I need to keep that area maintained so it's as little work as possible. Now, one of the things I can tell you that will go in phase 2 will be the a leopard crawl area. Now, my thing will be of how I'm going to design that. Like, it's going to be about 10 to 15 meters of crawling. I'm definitely going to have a net over the top so you can't just get up. Now, my question will be of how I want to design it. I want some input from you as the viewers, and I used to do this in the military with sand, because sand is going to be terrible to get through, and that's what I sort of want. It needs to be difficult, and you really need to burn through it. Now, the question will obviously be how much sand will cost, because if I'm going to have the 10-15 meter area, you're going to want about probably this deep sand at least. It's going to have to be probably 15-20 centimeters deep minimum, because I'm still going to have dirt under it, or I'm going to probably put plastic sheeting underneath it so it doesn't mix with the dirt and get yuck when it rains and storms and that sort of stuff. But so plastic sheeting, sand, and a big net to pull over it. So phase 2 will probably cost me a lot more than phase 1, but we're going to work all this out. I would love some input from everybody on what I've already discussed, the plan I've got. If anyone here has building experience or has cheap websites we can get this sort of material that I'm looking for, please link it or message me on my Facebook group. I will post a link to my Facebook group on the YouTube channel in case you haven't got it already. But that's basically the gist for episode 1. Episode 2 is going to be preparation of materials. So it's going to be a much shorter episode. It's probably just going to be me talking about exactly what I need, what I'm going to be doing, and you watching me chainsaw up some wood, and because we need to get some nice big wood for some poles and that sort of stuff. So that's going to be the next episode. I hope to catch you all there. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be pumping out some more food videos as soon as I can, some more exercise videos, but this is going to be taking up a fair bit of my time. So as always, if you've got any suggestions on videos or something that you'd like to see, please make sure you just comment, message me on the Facebook page, and I will respond as soon as I can when I've got the free time. But I will see you all in the next episode. Hit that subscribe button and see you all then.